And we are back at Paldea. Scratch that. We're visiting Kitakami for a field trip this time. Teal Mask DLC was just released for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I had like 100 hours plus in the base game prior to this update, despite the main game feeling empty and dull, especially after like the credits roll with little to no endgame activities. But for the past 2 days, I spent a lot of time exploring and experiencing what Kitakami has to offer me. I completed everything that I believed was available to me, so that included the main quest line, the two side quest lines, and even completing the Kitakami Pokédex. So, the question I will answer today is the Teal Mask a good DLC? So before I give my opinion, I'll explain all the things included in this DLC. The Teal Mask DLC includes a new quest line that took me around 5 hours to complete, and 2 minor side quests. A whole new map to explore, which is roughly a quarter size of Paldea. It adds a few new legendary Pokemon, and about 150 more Pokemon are now supported, such as Geodude and Snorlax, and just a handful of new Pokemon forms. 2 new outfits, more clothing accessories, and a minigame exclusive to the Kitakami region. So, is it worth it? Don't set your expectations high at all for this one. Yes, it's a new region, but it feels very small and barren, and seeing a new Pokemon like Geodude doesn't really excite me. And even though it's a fourth of Paldea size, which on paper is pretty big, it still feels small. This isn't a bad thing because this is a DLC, it's not a full-fledged game, so I wasn't really expecting like a whole like bigger region that's bigger than Paldea or anything, but it doesn't utilize all the space that well. It's really just one small town, one small shrine, and one huge mountain surrounded by a forest. There's no real good endgame content either, even after you complete the main quest line. The only thing is completing these like 2 side quests that really only take 30 minutes in total to complete both, and completing the Kitakami Pokédex, which in my opinion isn't the best endgame activity as it's just a fetch quest. So pretty much the DLC doesn't expand or improve existing problems or content. They just stuck an extra Lego piece at the bottom of the map and put a price tag on it. All the issues you had in the base game still exist, so all the performance and visual issues are very much still present. There was supposed to be like a festival thing happening in the main quest line. In fact, this DLC was advertised with it as a festival, but it didn't feel like a festival because they reduced like the NPC population and render distance. It felt like almost like a ghost town. I do understand that the Switch is not a powerful console. However, I did play Xenoblade Chronicles 3 earlier this year. It's on the Switch as well, and that game was so well made. I'd argue there's more things going on in Xenoblade Chronicles than Pokemon, but they're able to do like these like massive towns that are heavily populated. So in a way, it does feel like we are being cheated with more of our money when they make us pay for NPCs appearing and disappearing like this. Another issue I had was the level scaling. For me, I pulled up with a full squad of level 100s because I didn't know what to expect. I was hoping for some end game content, but seeing a level 60 Poochyena is just weird to me. If I wanted to start over, like just pulling up with a level 10 Froakie, I would have done that. But because the level scaling was so weird, like it's high enough for me to want to use my main team, but it's low enough where my main team just powers through everything. And apparently the Pokemon here are scaled to the amount of gym badges you have. I'm not too sure because at this point a lot of people have all 8 gym badges, but I did see somewhere on Twitter that it scales off of gym badges, but it's still weird to me. I would have loved it if they just made the whole region a level like 15 to 30 zone, like for everyone, no matter how many gym badges you have, because then I could just bring a Froakie and make it a new adventure and not see like a forbidden level 60 Sentret chasing me. But did the DLC have anything good? Anything at all? The 3 characters they introduced were cool. I liked all 3 of them to a certain extent. They did tease the Unova region in some dialogue at the very beginning. Hyped about that. There was an outfit that I got. It was pretty cool. Oh, that selfie stick was pretty useful as well. I think that's it. It just doesn't feel spectacular, if that makes any sense. Like, it doesn't go above and beyond of what you see in like other DLCs from like other games. I think of like Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind DLC. That was amazing. It had good endgame content. It had a really good story, fan service.
Like, is any of this for real or not?
Like it was like a complete package in a sense. Fire Emblem Engage DLC that came out like earlier this year was really good. It had a really good challenge, and I felt rewarded in beating those challenges.
If they must suffer in order for our people to live, so be it.
Pokemon's Teal Mask DLC. Let's go back to the question: Is Teal Mask a good DLC? It's not a good DLC. It was easy. It was frustrating. Um, but granted, this is only part 1 of 2, as the Indigo Disc is coming out sometime next year. But I think it has to knock the ball out of the park to redeem Scarlet and Violet as a whole. Will this Teal Mask disappointment stop me from buying more DLCs if Game Freak decides to make more after part 2? No, I'll keep buying them, because I fucking love Pokemon, even if they put zero effort into every new entry that they have. Why? I guess I'm addicted to the gameplay loop. I don't know, and I know others will feel this way. Nintendo will keep getting away with these half-cooked content because they know people like me will just keep throwing money at their face and play these games. Even if we like vent out our frustration of how bad it is, we're still giving them money. So for me, all that Teal Mask does is just completely lower my expectations for part 2 of the DLC, and the remake of Black and White if they decide to do make that. And I love Pokemon Black and White. It is my favorite game of all time. So I guess I can't wait to see how they butcher the pinnacle of all Pokemon games. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. I plan on doing more of these reviews for any game I decide to play, and there is a chance that I'll be streaming them. See you later.